ball.
I mean, we keeping a buck right now. We had
To win games, you have to win the game.
Happy to beat everybody associated with the game.
finish the fucking game. Like, let's end it.
Calling both games.
SeatGeek! It's not just the sponsor of this video, it's a revolution sweeping the nation. Okay, that might be an exaggeration, but their app is always my first go-to for tickets. 28 million downloads, over 70,000 events, the gold standard for ticketing apps. Any concert, any event, any game you can think of, it's on SeatGeek. If I want to go to a Pens game in the next few weeks, I can find seats with ease. Instead, want to see a show in the city? I can sort all available tickets on their app from red to green on a 1 to 10 scale. Look for the green, that means it's good, just like their buyer guarantee for every ticket on the app. You know to use the code TREE to save 20 bucks off your first purchase. Click the link in the description below to feel the power of SeatGeek for yourself. It consumed me whole long ago. Now let it consume you as you watch this video. Imagine saying last year that these teams would be in a tank bowl. It's been that drunk of a campaign for both of them. But Lamar's back.
Unit ready.
Sight for sore eyes in Baltimore indeed. Even then, I doubt the Ravens needed him here. Miami was more than eager to step on landmines they had planted seconds before. I'm not even joking, it was a Thursday night showing of the Three Stooges featuring Tua, Greer, and McDaniel. The Dolphins are a poorly coached team through and through, all the way down to the servings of shit stew flung by zebras. This personal foul might legitimately be the worst penalty I've seen all year. Like Gordon fucking tripped on the field, what do you want him to do? He didn't need that, the whole goddamn team's tripping over themselves. Dominating long stretches only to randomly run up the gut 3 times, then airmail a fader out to the fucking running back. Really? To 18? People are trying to get fired. There's no other explanation for this uninspired and lifeless drag. The perfect get-right game for a Ravens team on the mend. Lamar couldn't be stopped by a team with no corners and no pass rush. 4 TDs and King Henry firing on all cylinders. If you missed this one, consider yourself lucky you didn't miss a damn thing. If the season wasn't already over for the Dolphins, it just got a stake driven in its heart. I told you Miami was trying to get people fired. Just not the one you were expecting. Chris Greer's been all but squatting in the front office without paying rent for years on end. If you were to ask me why he wasn't Gann alongside Flores despite being the one that should have gone, your guess is as good as mine. It's about 3 years too late, but Greer's gone the way of the dodo in Dolphin land. You know this guy was GM there for almost a decade? Never have I seen so much moving and shaking to build absolutely nothing of substance. Dude couldn't assemble an offensive line for shit. His defenses were incredibly flawed. Greer's been coasting on Bill O'Brien overpaying for Tunsil and the Niners throwing a bolt at them for Trey goddamn Lance. And he still couldn't build a team around them for shit. It doesn't matter, though. Nothing does. Stephen Ross is still as much of a boob as he's always been, and the cycle will continue until he finally croaks. Mike McDaniel isn't going anywhere. He'll merely stick around to drag this corpse to the finish line and dig a grave. Then he'll be killed off, too. Look, it was either this or Anthony Weaver as your interim coach. I choose the burnout husk of a man, too. Gonna be a lot harder to get rid of Tua with that contract, though. Fucking woof. Shit that blows up in your face like that buries a franchise before a shovel hits the ground. Miami was looked at as a pure seller, but despite all the buzz about Waddle and Chubb, only one move was made. Jalen Phillips to Philly. It kind of fits. People will be surprised that it's only a 3rd round pick in return, but Jalen only costs this much because he's coming off 2 major injuries and hasn't been all that productive for an edge rusher this year. Miami's eating over $6 million of his deal for a reason, but it's a decent gamble. Phillips reunites with Vic Fangio. He could find new life with the Eagles like many have before him. In fact, Philly brought in a bunch of different question marks. Everyone's gonna say how he cooked with Jair Alexander and Michael Carter, but Jair's been such trash he's been a healthy scratch for weeks, and Michael Carter's always hurt. They're decent buy low candidates for depth, but nothing more at this stage. Jalen could be a rotational guy here, but if they get anything more, consider it a bonus. And I looked, and behold a pale horse. And his name that sat upon him was Kyle Shanahan. And hell followed with him. It is indiscriminate. And the fallen from both opponent and ally is incomprehensible. The Mac will be powered up once again. And after last week's stallout, this is pretty much a must-win contest. New York is reeling, but Jackson Dart offers them legitimate hope. Too bad they have absolutely nothing around them these days. Robert Saleh's sorcery is back in session. The 49ers simply silence anything resembling a Giants offensive attack for long stretches of time. Either that or the G-men themselves. After their strong first drive, they died until the fourth. Haven't seen that from them this year, right? The Niners' offense had their flaws, but they did what they had to do and make it a relatively easy win. A yin to the yang. San Francisco being 6-3 with the USFL caliber roster equaled by Brian Daboll being 2-7 for the last 3 years. Somehow this is too enjoyable of a win for the Bay Area. They need to pay the blood tax in the form of Mac Jones's nose before half. And Michael Williams. MetLife Stadium isn't beating the narratives. Neither are the Niners. How much still has to fall before Shanahan's debt is paid? We ask this question every week, but the true answer? Yes. This is the most shocking thing I've seen this year. The Titans have a lead in a football game in 2025. They're serious evil afoot. This first half smells very fishy. They have command due to a pick six and a punt return by Chimera DK, but Tennessee can't have any joy in this NFL season. It was written into law after the Callahan Accords and enforced as a result of the Cardinals' sin. And in terms of who's truly punished, Cam Ward's going through it right now. I want to give him grace because he's a rookie and he's literally in a situation that gets most men killed, but he's making records of the bad kind. And this is against a Chargers team crushed to hell defensively as well. Cam is not developing at all. Just give him a factory reset in the offseason and forget this ever happened. All of Nashville wishes that too. No matter the scenario, the Titans just keep falling apart. After enough time, even the Bolts got bored of teasing their inferior foe and gave them a mercy killing. Yet that's never the full story. Like San Francisco, the Chargers can only suffer horrible outcomes after victory. The gods are apparently into repeat afflictions as Joe Alt has to be carted off the field. A Pyrrhic victory in all definitions. For as well as he's been playing, Justin Herbert's been getting battered out there. And now he's losing his best lineman against the Steelers next week. Dude might legitimately be buried alive out there. Things were bleak in Yinzerland. Shit being flung around from all angles after dud showings. The white-hot Indianapolis Colts coming into town ready to kill. Fans preparing a casket to eulogize the Steeler defense for being fucking awful despite their historic pedigree. But little did they know. The high-end talent would rise again. Pittsburgh answered the call right as Mike Tomlin was getting rightfully shit on for his stubbornness. I'm honestly both surprised and unsurprised at the same time. What was supposed to be slaughter turned into a trap. Indianapolis played down to competition and hard. To be fair, they are 1-17 in Pittsburgh since 1970. This place is death to them. And in this Bermuda Triangle of pigskin, Jonathan Taylor can do nothing and Indiana Jones regresses back to Danny Derps. Jones was terrible. Featuring the kind of game that made some Giants fans beat their chests out and say, "I told you so, I knew he was awful." Dude was making so many turnovers he rivaled Oakmont Bakery. 6 of them total for Indy on the day, most hilariously inane to watch. The Steel Curtain put on a show by simply using confusion spells and playing Jalen Ramsey at safety. So much for the Colts being elite, the sheen's wearing off and they need a get-right game fast. So what does this mean for Pittsburgh? Their season's on the mend thanks to spamming splash plays, this has always been written. But they had a lot of issues in their game too, especially on offense. But who gives a shit, a win's a win. All they need are 6 turnovers every match and they can play with the big boys. Seriously, Indy, you had to shit the bed like this? You gave Yinzers hope again? What the hell have you done? Indy chose to win in a different aspect this week. The surprise runs may be buoyed by a soft schedule to start the year, but the challenges of the future must be met head-on. They need reinforcements for the playoff push. An elite corner's the prize they desire. Trevarius Ward's been out for a while, and Xavier Howard was branded with the mark of shame by Puka Nacua. Rentals will not suffice. They need a franchise cornerstone. And what better way to do that than drown in Sauce? Wait, the Jets traded Sauce Gardner? After just extending him this summer? It's definitely a Jets thing to do, but then you look at what Indy paid. 2 first-round picks. For a name brand that takes frequent penalties and has stone hands? It is a long-term purchase to be fair, but New York's not paying much in terms of dead cap. A damn good upgrade for the Colts, but the price is pretty damn steep. Also take Adonai Mitchell, Jets. He's been buried due to his gross incompetence, so this is his ultimate punishment. Hold on a second, Chris Ballard made a move? A seismic one? The Colts are going all in? I feel like the world's been flipped on its axis. So if Sauce keeps getting penalized here, does he blame it on the team he's playing for as well? As must-win for Minnesota as it gets.
Unit
Blood ritual
ready.
to sacrifice Carson Wentz has fortunately revived J.J. McCarthy from the injury pile. But there's a big problem. They're in the Motor City to face the Lions machine. Being overmatched sometimes leads to ingenuity. I have good news, Vikings. You're equipped with wrenches. Chuck them in the Detroit engine and jam up their gears. Ryan Flores has dialed up the ultimate antidote. Simply hide the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge. The Lions' vaunted run game was silenced. Against Skull Chance, Montgomery, and Gibbs could do absolutely nothing. And when they combined for fewer yards on the day combined than Aaron Jones had in 9 carries, that's a recipe for disaster. Jared Goff can't do it alone. It mainly comes in the form of Montgomery fumbles after nearly reaching the first down marker. All that's heard henceforth are preachers extolling the benefits of McCarthyism to unwashed masses. When Detroit tries to counter, all is blocked like their field goal in the fourth. In the end, Viking ships raided the Detroit coastline and stole a win from underneath them. There would be no mercy. Why let them survive when they can simply muster up a counterattack? The dead can't fight back, and Minnesota saves their season from potential abyss. If they can keep McCarthy healthy, they might have a chance. If all falls into place, of course. Just like Minnesota before them, Atlanta's in a must-win scenario. It would be a hell of a lot easier if they didn't completely fucking choke against flailing Dolphins, but what do I know? Now they have to face Drake May and a white-hot Patriots group eager to maintain their AFC East lead. Good news for New England, they're pulling away and fast against an unbelievably inconsistent team. Before you blink in the second quarter, Mayday erupts to 21 offensive points. But you're a fool if you believe this is the end of it. Remember, the Falcons are unbelievably inconsistent. And that also means they can flash the talent they offer on paper. Their defense adjusts to shut down the Patriots' attack. When you only give up 3.5 points, that usually signifies a good performance. And it's one where the offense can slowly chip away at that once insurmountable 14-point lead. Michael Penix showcasing his efficiency and precision in the passing game, bringing life to a season potentially on the brink, allowing his unit to get some semblance of point production. Drive after drive, moving the football into position. Their chance to prove they can belong in the bigger picture is here. The Patriots may believe they have them stuffed in the red zone, but Atlanta has other ideas.
Penix on 4th down, looking for London. And did he bring it in? Yes! What a catch!
God damn, when this offense is clicking, it can't be stopped. Come back from the dead to tie it up!
24. And the kick is no good!
Are you shitting me? Fucking chew. This is so goddamn Falcons, finding ways to lose games both hilariously and infuriatingly all at once. And all in year, with this group, they'll just blame everyone else for their own failings. No, it's not that we're incompetent at our jobs. The Patriots are cheating. Yeah, they're stealing our signals by clapping to confuse our offense. So the safety signifying a man in motion was responsible for the center snapping the ball early? That caused this intentional grounding? That caused the right guard to lag like he's on a 56K modem? Everyone should know to never trust the Falcons for anything. This game simply reinforced that belief. New England continues their torment like 28-3 never went out of style. Honestly, for Atlanta, it still lives rent-free in their heads. Games like this prove it. Ugly. Uglier than AI generating Will Smith eating pasta in 2023. That's what everyone in Houston got to experience in yet another slog in a year full of them. Strong defense against strong defense. Or is that just the Texans' offense being god-awful and banal in all facets? Knowing experience, I'm honestly gonna say both. Bo Nix is fucking terrible so far against the Texan D, while Houston simply committing atrocious war crimes. Misery in its purest form.
And then things got worse.
Texans, you may have gotten Nico Collins back, but how about losing CJ Stroud to a concussion? We can't even blame the god-awful offensive line for this one. Jesus. Well, it's time for General Mills to retake center stage. I shouldn't really say center stage. Both teams are stumbling around trying to find their opponent in a hypothetical dark. Give it a few minutes, combine it with some Denver miscues, and Houston has an 8-point lead. Without CJ Stroud, that's pretty much all they're gonna muster. General Mills is a backup for a reason. And with that non-existent run game against Denver's defense, yeah, good luck. The Houston D stuffing their prey too, but wait until the fourth quarter. Denver remembers they can move the ball forwards, and their fans will huff hopium like it's not a recurring trend revealing systemic issues about the offense. Who gives a shit? Bo Tebow threw a pass for a touchdown, plus a 2-pointer to tie the game. Followed by long periods of nothing for both teams. Good defense, terrible offense, whatever you want to call it, things get tense. 69 yards of offense combined in 7 drives. Why am I even talking about this? We know Denver's winning. Bo Nix is doing his best Kenny Pickett impression today for some reason. Kenny a clutch final drives too? It's not super damning. I love me some Kenny Pickett. Just make the damn field goal and move on.
For the Broncos. And the kick is good. And the fourth quarter magic remains for Denver.
Oh my god, the Broncos pull out a fourth quarter win with their offense playing like shit for most of the game? What a shocking turn of events. Who knew that the Texans are a mess? Imagine if Houston had the offense that was promised to them by that snake oil salesman that traveled through town. This group would be a legit Super Bowl contender with that defense. Instead, the Broncos somehow win another game while merely amplifying team concerns. It's an honestly amazing revelation. Bo Nix is somehow the reincarnation of Tim Tebow. I'll leave how you feel about that up to you. Trap games. They're a deadly foe of any contender. Green Bay has serious flaws, especially with starting out games extremely slow, but the hype has barely died down. But it all came to a head against a Panther team hungry to upend a giant. Yet the winds of hell don't just happen with the elements. They occur on the field of play. The Packers fucking imploded. Repeated errors made in a cavalcade of spank-bank material for the rest of the NFC North. Jordan Love, what the fuck even was this? You have your breakout moment last week and then revert back to the bad version of Brett Favre for 3 quarters? Any hope chucked into triple coverage and... Why the fuck are you even throwing this pass? What are you seeing? Running for your life when things break down, trying to play hero, only to heave up long shot prayers right to a defender on 4th down. All of Wisconsin wants Matt LaFleur's head for endless screens and squandering endless opportunities. How the hell are you a team that doesn't punt once yet only scores 13 points? That's how often they fucked up. Shit, put in the substitute teacher as kicker again. McManus don't have it anymore. And it's sad because the Packer defense did their job for the most part. Bryce Young was trash. All but ineffective against Green Bay schematics, even with Micah getting no pressures. The only one really doing anything on that front was Rico Dowdle. Yet it's more than enough to give Carolina a 7-point lead. But Packer incompetence might be saved in the end. They're finally pushing through the Panther defense without making self-inflicted mistakes. Slicing and dicing through resistance until they reach the ultimate prize. The end zone. Josh Jacobs allows the Packerina to tie the game. Too bad for them, the defense bent a bit too much on their final drive. Green Bay fucked around and now they're finding out. Rico Dowdle happened yet again and Carolina's in field goal range. And now for the dagger.
Hold is down. The kick is up. Into the wind. It is good!
The wreck of the Ryan Fitzgerald. It leaves no survivors in Green Bay. What the hell are the Packers? We legitimately don't know. Their offense is extremely cold to start and sometimes can't even get it out of first gear. Dominating victories followed by god-awful showings. And this one might be the most damning. And as a special prize, Tucker Kraft is out for the year with a torn ACL. Well done, boys. You've allowed Panthers fans to talk endless shit online despite being a mediocre outfit. Real team silence groups that only throw for just over 100 yards, but apparently not you. You hurl it into triple coverage just like Jordan Love. Wait, how the hell are the Panthers 5-4? It's weird, but it is a good thing. They did play up to competition today. And the defense corrected itself after last week's embarrassment. Good work. Protect Rico Dowdle at all costs.
How do these two teams pick up the pieces? Charlie Jones going to play it from just inside his end zone, and Jones has his seed. Jones, 30, 20, 10, touchdown!
Nobody ever said football wasn't fun. Two teams trying to save their seasons after humiliating losses with offensive skill for days. What do you get when you take a Bears unit gashed to bits by injury with a Bengals unit gashed to bits by their own ineptitude? You get this contest. Take last week's Cincy match against the Jets, then amplify it.
Nope.
There will be no defense allowed for long stretches of time. 95 points combined. 1,071 yards of offense total. Both impressive and incredibly damning at the same time. Bengals fans want a lot of people killed. Bears fans simply want Cairo Santos killed. It's one of those fights where both sides just throw haymakers at each other's faces and fail to block any of them. It's like a bum fight that's fun to watch, but both teams have seriously dire concerns moving forward. The Bears should be crushing their foe. Yet you forget, Joe Flacco. Apparently all he needs to be elite is to spam throws to T and Jamar. Just throw it up there, they'll go get it. Anywhere in the vicinity's good. Totaling 470 yards in the air, his first 400-plus yard game ever. And it's a healthy spread since Chicago is no secondary. I don't know if they even have a primary at this point. Yet it's never enough thanks to, you guessed it, the Bungles defense. They can't stop Kyle Monungai. They can't stop Caleb as a quarterback or as a receiver. If you've ever played Mountain Blade Bannerlord, this is the AI after they siege a castle with 1,500 men. They'll take it, raise the land around it, then leave about 50 guys there to get re-sieged moments later. Or it could just be Zach Taylor, whose genius leads to a challenge of the Bears ball being short of the goal line. And it's then overruled into being a touchdown for Chicago. And how generous of Joe Flacco to drive down the field only to throw a back-breaking pick. Down by 14 with under 3 minutes left. Should be over, right? Joe Flacco. End statement. The Bears unable to grow corners fast enough to replace the ones that have fallen. The touchdown and 2-point conversion makes this a one-score game. But they need an onside kick.
McPherson lines up, looking for the Bears. Football live. Who's got it? Cincy is saying they've got it, and they do. Unbelievable. No way.
Really, Bears? Really? You're living up to old stereotypes now? A chance to bury your opponent and you're letting them drive down the field with ease? Oh, god damn it!
2nd and goal. Flacco, end zone, touchdown! Yossi Bush!
I'm back complete. Less than a minute left and Cincy's up by 1. The Bears are bearing again. For fuck's sake, you had a 99.8% chance of winning and you're single-handedly saving Zach Taylor's job. That's it, just bury these fuckers. Cincy just needs one stop. One moment from that pathetic defense to prove—
Williams slings it, Williams! Loveland bangs off his man! He's gonna score! Colston Loveland!
If we ever go to war with a foreign nation again, I hope to God they employ this Bengals defense when we invade. Shit, the war would be over in a fucking week without a single casualty on our side. Cincy not only gave up 576 yards, but allowed Chicago to save their season from doom yet again. I should have known. This defense isn't just terrible, it's generationally so. Every skilled player on the Bengals should be allowed to take sledgehammers and break people's legs. It's completely unraveling. Schisms being formed with a justifiably pissed offense and a defense tuning out the coaching staff and press. Zach Taylor isn't losing the room, he lost it a long time ago. Time to send him out to pasture. Then again, my ground exists, so nothing will happen. The Bears grab defeat from the jaws of victory, then grew bored holding it, so they jam the L right down its throat. This season really is the anti-Bears campaign. Chicago will deliver the receipts in 3 to 5 business days. This is apparently a game that was played and one I have to go over, but it feels like a waste of time. Saints are chucking Tyler Shough out there to see if they have anything in him. You can't really tell his future against the Rams. It may as well have been a Moorish invasion of Spain with how many Saints were getting massacred. The Rams saw a withered husk of a man in front of them and simply pushed them down. New Orleans won't get back up. They can't. Not with Matthew Stafford having the day he had. 4 touchdowns to further solidify his dark horse MVP campaign. His good friend Clayton Kershaw rode into the sunset with glory, and Stafford wants another ring before he moves on in the future. It may not be for a bit, but the hunger's still there. It was simply a clinic at SoFi, not much more to say. The Rams are 6-2 fighting for the NFC West Division lead. This win isn't the big statement they needed, but it is definitely one to make. Here's a handy checklist for anyone watching a Chiefs vs. Bills game. Is it taking place in the playoffs? Kansas City wins in excruciatingly heart-wrenching fashion. Is this match occurring during the regular season? Buffalo will win, especially if it's in front of Bills Mafia. It's almost like clockwork. Even with their defense undermanned due to injury, Buffalo's gonna make Patrick Mahomes' life a living hell. He can't use his feet to escape trouble. They're forcing him to stay in the pocket, and the rest of the ground game can't get anything going. Pat can do a few things, but nowhere near enough, especially to keep up with Buffalo's traditional circling of the wagons. Josh Allen and James Cook happened yet again. It's honestly what you expect of the Bills. Consistently besting the Spagnuolo defense at every turn because, once again, it's the regular season. Buffalo wins this one relatively easily to keep up with the Joneses in their division. I say relatively because Matt Prater shanked a kick, allowing Mahomes a final drive. But he chose to save that magic for another day. Probably to beat them in January. People are gonna laugh in my face for saying that until it actually happens. I said this last year too. This is apparently a contest these days. Don't let the disparity in records deceive you. Getting anything out of these two franchises is a blessing. Despite playing the god-awful Raiders, you have to realize something. Jacksonville is both very good and utterly fucking terrible at football at the same time. It's amazing to witness. But the idiot savant that can't add 2 + 2 yet recites the entirety of Homer's Odyssey off memory. A group that will pull off long drives with ease only to throw it away carelessly like a Trevor Lawrence pick in the end zone. They can ball out or do fuck all for entire quarters, allowing Las Vegas the meager table scraps that the shell of Geno Smith can muster for them. Suffering potentially long-term injuries to Travis Hunter in practice on a non-contact play, then you get this from Cam Little.
68 yards away. It's up there. It's out there. And it's good. It's good from 68.
Justin Tucker's record's been broken, and I expect this record will evaporate soon enough. Give it about 3 or 4 weeks. Congratulations, Cam Little. Here's your randomized drug test. If you drug test both these teams too. After a deathly silent third quarter and 9-6 snoozer, the NFL buzzed in and told them to start moving the damn ball. That they both did. In what's been a more common occurrence these days, the fourth quarter offense was flying. There will be not a single defensive stop made from this point forward. All that shall commence are the might of Trevor Lawrence and Geno Smith. Would have been a damn fine contest in 2022, but 2025, a little different. Still makes for some tense football, as little as it may mean for both teams in the end. Speaking of little, Cam Little ties this game up in the waning seconds of regulation. We are going to overtime and the painful bounties that lie within. Does either team really want this to continue? Too bad, it shall persist until morale improves. The Jaguars get ball first, and even if they don't get a touchdown, they'll eat as much clock as humanly possible. Down to the goal line they will go. But the Raider defense stiffens up in the moment. Jacksonville caught in the mud on 3 straight tries. But on 4th down, it's all or nothing. They're going for it here.
On 4th and goal, reaching across, touchdown!
As I said, Jacksonville's both very good and infuriatingly terrible as they win the... Oh, wait a second, right. They changed the rules to give both teams a possession regardless of touchdown. We're continuing on. But surely the Raiders aren't going to push down the field with Geno Smith leading the charge in 2025. Or they'll let them near the goal line before time winds down to 0. But they still need a touchdown. Can Pete chew it out of them before the clock strikes midnight?
Geno Smith has it. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown! Brock Bowers!
Like a Steph Curry shot at the buzzer. But the Raiders aren't interested in some lame time. Like against the Chargers in Week 18, they want the kill. Carroll's fighting for pride. Gambling for 2 to steal a win at the last moment.
For the Geno Smith for the win knocked away. And the Jags defense. Devon Hamilton.
Or the Raiders will Raider yet again. Well, this was most certainly a game. Welcome to Jacksonville, a true enigma. I don't know how they made it this excruciating, but they did. And will continue to do so for time eternal. If they make the playoffs, I'll probably be laughing hysterically. They're a literal mystery box every single drive. Jacksonville gets a bonus to go with the win in Las Vegas, too. They get to take one of their players as a parting gift. The Jags don't need Max Crosby, they're set on the edge. But they desperately need a receivers, especially with their notorious issues on that front this year. They either can't catch or can't dress due to injury. Jacoby Myers has been patiently waiting for his release from Raider jail. He finally got hypothetical parole. The Jaguars take him on for a 4th and a 6th. Most importantly, he doesn't drop the ball that often. With Jacksonville in contention, I think they're in the good spot Jacoby wanted. Hopefully makes them more really good than fucking terrible too. The commies are being lined up and shot for treason. That's pretty much the equivalent of what happened here on Sunday night. Seattle is looking to prove themselves as a legitimate contender. And what they showed us is easily their best performance of the year. Absolute superiority. Not just steamrolling their opponent, but pulverizing every last bit of their physical form into a fine powder. The Seahawks probably mixed it with ramen to make a commie soup. Sam Darnold had an immaculate day. Perhaps I was too harsh on him after his implosion last year. He's rebounded and then some, especially with a perfect first half featuring 4 touchdowns. Could also be because of JSN. God, Smith and Jigba is so damn good. Can a receiver win MVP? He really should. This game was over by half. The Seahawks have their statement in spades. As for Washington, don't look. Just don't. They aren't just losing, they're getting their asses kicked. A defense that can't stop flying paper in a wide receiver room decimated to hell and back. And this is after losing Luke McCaffrey to a broken collarbone on the first play of the game. And Marshawn Lattimore to a torn ACL. And they only have 2 picks in the first 4 rounds of next year's draft. The season's spiraling out of control. How the fuck does this get worse? Jesus Christ, it was hyperbole! Jaden's non-throwing elbows destroyed, and for what? The commies were down by goddamn 31! What the fuck was he even in the game? Stubborn pride? A Dan Quinn Aster class. Bravissimo, Washington, you're RG3ing your golden goose in real time. I expected such clownery from the Dan Snyder era, but not from this group. Seattle may as well have salted the damn earth. And in reward for their conquest, the time has come to recruit a new weapon for their offensive attack. JSN's outstanding, and Cooper Kupp's an excellent possession receiver if hurt a bit this year. But what the Seahawks need's a true home run threat. Trading DK left a void there, but they can get his production for cheaper. Think Rashid Shaheed, a damn good receiver rotting in New Orleans because they're in the 7th level of football hell right now. Good news, Rashid, you're free. And all it cost were 4th and 5th round picks. Shaheed did great things with Clint Kubiak last year. He's been reunited with him. These weapons, Sam Darnold might have a field day. A lot better than being with the Saints, who got roughly the same value that they traded away for Devon Valet in the preseason. He's got 5 receptions so far this year. Great trades there, Mickey. No wonder why your team's in the shitter. What a tragedy. There are millions of people on YouTube TV that can't watch this barn burner. They're dying to see this match with Kyler Murray still injured. That's a softer term for saying he's benched for Jacoby Brissett. I don't know if Kyler's getting his starting role back. Gannon says Murray's still the starter, but you can't watch this game and tell me that Jacoby should be usurped. He's running the Arizona offense significantly better than Fallout 1 boy over here. And what was honestly needed more than a human being needs air, the Cardinals bitch-slapped the Dallas Cowboys all over the field on national television. And it was mostly thanks to their defense. They terrorized the Dallas offense in nearly every sense of the word. Dak Prescott was unable to do anything resembling a superhero form, and the Cowboys suffered as a result. Denver made the blueprint last week. Arizona merely followed it. Jerry Jones eating shit as his boys are staring in the face of a garbage season with a garbage defense. Amari DiMercado looked solid against this unit. The Cardinals held a lead in the 4th quarter. Do you know how insane that is to type out? I was expecting them to blow it like usual, but Arizona owns Dallas like they're demanding reparations for that Emmitt Smith contract. No joke, they've won 8 of their last 9 against them. Watching as the camera slowly pans to distraught Cowboy fans and players in the 4th quarter is beautiful to see. Art rivaling Michelangelo himself. Don't worry though, Dallas. Jerry's cooking up a trade. He's got one ready to go, a big piece to help them out, but he's not gonna tell you yet because it's a secret. Got the shit, it's Logan Wilson from Cincy for a 7th. All that hype for Logan Wilson? Okay, it wasn't just Logan Wilson. Call Jerry Jones an idiot and someone who puts himself over the interests of his team, but don't you dare deny that he's completely delusional. Jerry Boy is getting old. Time is short. He wants to taste the ring of power again before he croaks. The Cowboys may have significant flaws and are nowhere near a Super Bowl caliber roster, but that's not going to stop him from being desperate, and you know it. Quinton Williams is a hell of a defensive lineman. He's been on a decline the last couple years, but he's an all-pro who can stop the run. Dallas has had serious trouble doing that, as well as everything else in defense. So fuck it, acquire him for a 1st and 2nd round pick. And Mozzie Smith, they probably had to pay more to the Jets to take him on. The 1st is in 2027, the higher of their 2 picks. Is it gonna lead them anywhere notable? Fuck no, but don't tell Jerry because his team's staring at death and so is he. Jets are launching another nuke at the MetLife testing range, getting rid of Quinnen and Sauce. And nearly Breece Hall, Jermaine Jones, and Garrett Wilson. Oh no, the top 5 defense that didn't give a shit about playing defense is being dismantled. How terrible! 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years and they'll probably be wasted like this generation. What is this, the 4th 5-year plan the Jets have had since they made the playoffs? For this locale of the week, I'm moving back to the collegiate ranks. And it's not Penn State, I prefer my corpses to be fresh. I'm aiming my sights on LSU. It all started about a week and a half ago. A once proud program and national championship contender broken beyond belief. Brian Kelly's an insanely overrated coach and notorious piece of shit, but they were told he can win football games. He really hasn't at the highest level. Another year falling to the wayside after several losses. In particular, a glorious ass-whooping by goddamn Aggies. Texas A&M was apparently the last straw. And athletic director Scott Woodward can't have his Tigers be bested by the school he arrived from. Like many of us, he's all in favor of executing Brian Kelly. All that remains in Brian's name are a $54 million buyout and the fakest southern accent you'll ever hear. Good fucking riddance. This alone would be wonderful enough, but then comes Jeff Landry, the governor of Louisiana. He's so incensed he wasn't consulted that he's gonna meddle in school affairs. Not only ripping him to shreds in public pressers, but outright cucking him at every turn. Kelly's buyout's gonna be publicly funded. Woodward's a complete fucking failure, Jeff says. His coaches have been failures. He hired Jimbo at Texas A&M. He will never hire another LSU coach again. Landry would rather ask Donald Trump to hire the next head coach. Dude, that would be fucking hilarious if Trump did that. He'd do it too. Mr. Woodward, just like The Apprentice, you're fired. Get the fuck out, you failure. Now prepare for the acting AD. A guy who has multiple Title IX violations. You can't make this shit up. This saga isn't just beautiful theater, it's the perfect locale of the week. And to think, this program was completely broken by Texas A&M. Do you know how insane that is to even type? God, I love me a smoldering shit show.
Bring out Jadine! Bring out Jadine! Bring out Jadine!
Unit lost.
Bring out Jadine!
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Thanks very much. That's all. See you on Thursday. Right.
Beach ball on the field that's rolling through towards the offense.
That makes sense. That sounds about right. Now they're going to try to catch it.
Picked up by the second-year man, Jalen Coker. This is...
Ike Ekwonu went to toss it to the official, and it got caught in the wind, and it just blew. Did you see it?
Look at this. They just ripped the beach ball. It's like, that's done.